I'm Eric the History Detective, and you know, if I'm sitting in the Jeep, it's time for another metal detecting adventure. And today we are going to go back to Summit Point, where we did really well before. Lots of interesting finds out there. I'm going to head over and meet a couple friends of mine, and we're going to go back onto the battlefield on our private property permission, and we're going to give it a shot and see what we can find. So I'm going to do something a little bit different on this video. I am going to leave the comments section open. So please be kind, be constructive, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. Also, if you like the videos, thank you very much. Please subscribe and share. I'm always looking for new people to introduce to history, not just history in a book, history in a classroom, but here we do it a lot different, and it can be a lot of fun when you look at history from this perspective. So, also, you can still visit me at Eric the History Detective on Facebook. And if you missed the first Summit Point video, just click on the link I'm going to put in the description below. And in that first video, I gave a description or kind of a summary of the battle so you can learn a little bit about it. And we're going to head right out and get right into it. Nope. Got our first find of the day right there. It is going to be a fired 3-ring mini ball. Just working down here along the creek again. And we are very close to the location where we were digging last time. And here's one we missed, because you can never dig it all. And we're gonna keep on hunting. Another one right here. There was number 1. Here's number 2. They generally always come in groups. Fired 3-ringer. When you start finding bullets out here or anywhere, you got to really hit that area, because they are usually going to be laying around in groups, whether fired or dropped, and that's a fired. Not too much distortion here, but you can see enough to know that this was definitely fired. All right. Just pulled a great find here. If you watched the first video, maybe you know what this is before I even bring it up. It's a Williams cleaner. And in the first video, we found not only some drops, but some fired. And that is a fired. That is a fired 3rd gen Williams cleaner. You can see the lines right there. You can see the post is rammed up into the bottom of the bullet, and you can also see it's off. It's all smushed together, and that is a great find. A fired Williams. Nice. Gonna keep hunting. So we are just digging bullets all over out here. We've only been at it for about 10 or 15 minutes, and I think we probably dug almost a dozen. But I just dug this one, and I wanted to show you something. Of course, we have a fired bullet here, as you can see, with a significant amount of damage. But pay close attention to that ring around the top. That ring is caused by the ramrod slamming this bullet down the barrel. You don't see this too often, because what this is an indicator of is that there's a problem with the gun, and it usually means that the gun is getting very dirty and the soldier is having trouble slamming the bullet home to get that thing fired. So they are pounding on it with the ramrod to try to drive it down the muzzle so that they can get the next round off. So when you pull one that looks like that, has that ring, that's usually an indication of what you've got. So another good find out here at Summit Point. I literally just finished talking with you guys about that ring on top of the bullet from the ramrod, and this is what just came out of that hole. That is probably the most distinct ramrod ring I've ever seen. I mean, that bullet was driven home with a significant amount of force. It has a very distinct, almost an 1/8 inch ring all the way around where that rammer hit it and was driving it home. That is an awesome find. So we've been finding a lot of bullets out here, and I got a really faint hit. And if you look at my pinpointer, about 14 inches down, I just dug a new one. That is a really cool find. I'm bringing it up right now. I've already cleaned it off. And if you look right here, we have no rings and the bullet is smooth. If you look close, you will see that it was fired down a rifled barrel. You can see, I'll call them the vertical marks that run from the tip up here to the base. So we know that this was fired from a rifled barrel. We can also see the tip. It has been rammed very hard, probably down a dirty gun barrel. And that is a Confederate infield. And this is the first infield bullet I've dug out here. And I do believe this is my first fired infield. So another great find here at Summit Point. Little hint here, when you are in a battlefield site and you start digging fired bullets, when that happens, you need to dig all your iron hits along with them. Because what we have here that looks like a rock sitting on our pile is our first piece of artillery shrapnel. You can see a little bit of the ring left right here on the base, and that is pretty well destroyed, but that is what that's going to be, a little piece of artillery shrapnel. So again, you start digging fired bullets, you need to change over and dig iron hits too, because if they were out here shooting, there was most likely artillery being fired around here from somewhere, and that's what we've got. I think I mentioned in some earlier videos, you might dig one of these and not know what it is. But if you look right there in the middle of your screen, you see something that looks like a T on its side or a post right here. And that is the base off of a Williams cleaner. It has come out of the back of the bullet and landed out here on the battlefield. So if you're digging one of these and you're like, what in the world? That's what that is, a base of a Williams cleaner. Got a new one here. What do you think that is? You can see it had a cartridge and some of it is still left on the base. And that is a Spencer carbine bullet. And the Battle of Summit Point fought in 1864. A lot of Union troops carried the repeating rifle, the Spencer, which held 7 rounds and allowed them a major advantage over any group of infantry that carried a muzzle loading musket. And that's what we have here, what's left of a dropped Spencer carbine round. Just rechecked my same hole, and this clotted dirt is giving me a really good signal. Let's see if our Spencer had a sister in the hole with it. That very well could be. There you go. It is the base of the cartridge that's left from the Spencer we just dug. That is a Spencer cartridge base. Good find. So it was a battle chasing this down. Look at that root I had to dig around and open up this hole. And over here on my gloves, we have our second fired Williams cleaner of the day. Very distorted. You can see that the base plate is shoved up into the bullet, and you can also see the ramrod mark on the tip of the bullet. And this bullet tells a story that the soldier is shooting and firing As they are moving through this area, the gun begins to get fouled and dirty. So he rams down this Williams cleaner, which he fought to get in. You can see how hard he's trying to slam it down the muzzle. And then boom, fires it, hoping to get some of that fouling out of the barrel. So there you go, great find. Second fired Williams cleaner. Just digging fired bullets out here everywhere, so I'm not filming them all. But I wanted to show you guys this cleaner bullet that has just been annihilated on impact. And you can see where the post has actually come through the back of the bullet. And it is just smushed when it made impact with the ground up here on this hilltop. If we can get the camera to focus in, but that's what's left of it once it hit the ground. Good find. Well, we have all gathered around for the unveiling. If you look in that tuft of grass, under grass green, you'll see goody green. And I do believe we have our first eagle button, and it's big. And if I'm right, it's going to be a coat. So let's take a look together. There it is. Shielded Eagle coat button in goody green right there. You can see the head and the flying wings, and we'll flip it over. The shank is gone. So we just have the nice two pieces pressed together, and there is a beautiful coat button. And I will clean that up at the end and take a nice picture of it for the video. I don't see any letters in the shield, so it's just going to be a nice basic coat button. Great find. All right, I got a good hit here on this hilltop. We're gonna go inside and look. That's it in the middle of your screen, that glowing spot in the wall right there. Let's see what we got. It is in there good. Definitely gonna be a bullet. There it is. There you go, bring it up here in the sun. And there is a nice drop 3 ring on this hilltop. Good find. A lot of fired ones out here. Actually, the drop ones are the ones you don't find a lot out here. So we're gonna keep hunting. So I just dug one crazy bullet out of this hole right here, and I'm gonna bring it up to show you guys. It is a fired 3-ringer, and you can see the rifle marks running down the sides. But at some point, this bullet tumbled. Whether it struck something and tumbled, or just started to tumble in the air after being shot, and it went into the ground back of the cone first, and you have this perfectly mushroomed 3-ringer only on the reverse side. I have never seen a bullet like that, but you can tell it was fired by those marks running along the sides there, and then bang, it hits the ground and you have a reverse mushroom. That is one fascinating piece. Gonna keep hunting. So I just dug a really cool piece I want to share with you guys, but you can see how thick it is back here. I'm like a hunchback going through here, working these hillsides, trying to see what we can find. And between the 3 of us out here today, we're just digging a ton of bullets. But I just got this really cool piece of shrapnel from a bullet out of a hole, and that bullet is completely annihilated. You can see that it was once a 3-ring mini ball, but whatever it hit, most likely rocks, split it right in half. And this is probably the biggest chunk that's left, and it was laying right up here on this hillside. That's a really cool find. It's razor sharp on the edges here. And working my way up this hill, dug a couple of bullets, and then as I got up here towards the top, I dug this nice piece right here. So we're gonna keep fighting our way through the woods. So I didn't even have to use my pinpointer for this one here. Once I flung all the dirt out of the hole, If you look over here, you'll see right there where it landed, middle of your screen between all that dirt and that big clay dirt clod. Right here, it's going to be a 3-ring mini ball. And that feels nice and smooth. And I don't see any deformity on the back here. And maybe a little bit, well, right there. This one is laying in an old road, and that could be fired with all that damage, or it could have been run over a few times. And we will clean it up to look, but another good find out here at Summit Point. I usually don't film these, but look right over here. Big old flat nail. You dig a lot of these when you're metal detecting, and that bulge there is this thing rusting away over the years. And there is the flat head of this large nail, which was about 10 inches down, and I'm probably going to keep this one. Definitely an oldie. But something else I wanted to show you here was the tree I'm digging around. I'm going to set that down and look at the size of this tree. It is enormous. There's my metal detecting coil, and this tree is mammoth. And if you go around a old tree like this, you're bound to find something. I mean, so far I've just found the flat nail, but you see these big old trees, and they are definitely worth a second look. So just a little metal detecting tip. I've been chasing a target here by these tree roots and this rock, and I just popped out what's left of a Williams cleaner. No base, but look at that bullet. I've never seen a bullet damaged like that. I don't know if some of that could have been caused by corrosion over the years, but lead usually, it doesn't really corrode. And that is one very interesting piece. Possibly even melted, but they were fighting up here, so I'm definitely going to assume it just fired and damaged and maybe got beat up up here on the fence row over the years. So really interesting find. All right, I got this hole opened up right there and threw my dirt out. Pinpointer tells me whatever it is right in here. So I'm gonna bring my glove over and we're gonna open it up together and see what it is. See what we got. That feels like it for sure. Yep. Look at that. That is a huge hunk of lead. And I think what we do have is a fired infield in that clod. Let me clean it up. I'll be right back. And here it is, and that is a high impact infield Confederate bullet. No rings on the back. You can see the cone back here is completely distorted, and that thing had one heck of a hit when it landed over here. And I believe that's the second fired infield I have found out here at Summit Point, and that is just a really cool looking hit on this bullet. Look at that. That is nice. Gonna keep hunting. All right, I got Lee over here in the woods and on the edge of the field with me, and you can hear he's got a really good hit. So dig that sucker up, see what we got. You can hear he's pinpointing it. Go in there and get that dirt clod, flip it out of there. We'll loop around over here. There it is. Once you get that dirt out of there, he's gonna grab his pinpointer and start poking around and see if he can't find it. It sounded kind of shallow. It might be in the dirt. Still could be in the hole. There it is. What do you got down there?
Wherever it is, it's shallow, I think. modern bullet.
A modern bullet? No. That's okay, that's what happens. Let's take a look. Yep, there you go. Jacketed bullet. No jacketed bullets were used in the Civil War. That is an easy and fast way to tell if you have a relic or you have something more modern. When you get a little bit of that goody green on a bullet, you know it's jacketed. Back home again, and another metal detecting adventure is in the books. And the three of us have had great success on the Summit Point battlefield. Just after this, you'll see a couple photographs of our finds that I am going to put in the video. So we've had a lot of crazy weather here in Virginia the past few weeks. Our spring has been cold, it's been rainy, it's been windy. So on the good days, I am trying to get out and do a little bit of metal detecting. So again, I am going to leave the comments section open. I look forward to reading comments from you guys, and hopefully soon I'll be able to get back out. We'll get another adventure in the books. So thank you all very much for watching. If you're enjoying the videos, like, subscribe, visit me at Eric the History Detective on Facebook, and never forget, you can never dig it all. See you next time.